All right, hello, how's it going? This devlog is entitled Back on Track. Okay, so I pretty much wiped my whole hard drive on this MacBook. And what I did to wipe that, I'll explain in a bit, but the short story is that I've had to redo a bunch of stuff, and I've now more or less got it back to the stage where we were in the previous devlog. Give or take a little bit. So we'll fire this up and we'll take a look. So as we can see, we have our stuff. We fade in. This is all temporary assets. I do have proper assets that I was going to swap in, but it'll just take time. We come up, we're going along, and these options, load game and things, they're actually going to sort of pop in dynamically. Yeah. So there we have it. We have our menu. We've got these, like, again, temporary assets, but we have these spinning rings and things. So you can see it's sort of becoming more character driven. Side note, on the previous devlog, I had mixed opinions on the font. Some people were saying, yeah, it looks really cool. Some people were saying, as a native Thai speaker, this just looks like garbled nonsense, which I get. So that's an open question. Open question. Which font do you prefer? Do you want me to play it straight, or do you want something like this? I'm going to tweak this blur a bit as well. And another open question. As I was developing this, I stumbled upon another effect, which is basically to not blur. So if we see around these corners, it sort of pulls in, and I like this effect as well. I like the purple and black. I've sort of pushed it out a little bit so it's not consuming the visible space. But, geez, what's with this plane? Anyway, so, I like this effect. I also like the blur. So I'm just going to put it out there. Which of these do you prefer? And which font do you prefer? So, that's that. Now this is going to get a little more rambly. So, what happened? I have my MacBook and I have Asahi Linux, and I've dual booted my MacBook with Asahi Linux. And I did something you're going to be screaming at me saying, don't do this. Asahi Linux updates occasionally. It's running Fedora. It's a Fedora remix. It does updates. And I got a kernel update and it was just taking a long time. So I thought, man, this update's taking a long time. I quit and shut the thing down mid-update because it had gone, okay, running transaction, we're going to update, and it just hadn't said we're done yet. So I quit, and the thing became unbootable in Asahi Linux. So I thought, well, that's fine, I'll just use Mac. And I was using Mac for a while, and I thought, you know what, how about I reinstall Asahi Linux? So I go into disk utility in Mac, and I try to wipe up the partition that I had for Linux, and it sort of said it did it correctly, and then I tried a few things. It still wasn't installing Asahi Linux, so I tried to reboot my MacBook, and then it just wouldn't boot anything. It was completely unbootable. It was in I had to put it in DFU mode, recovery mode. So I went to the Mac store and they plugged it in, and even in recovery mode, I went to the Mac store. I'm like, okay, don't get mad. I dual booted it. I know. Anyway, but they put it into DFU mode, and they couldn't get it to work. So they told me, okay, we're going to send it off. It'll probably just be the logic board. Your data will be safe because, it's the logic board. It's not the hard drive. And then I got it back from the repair people, and they said, lol, the hard drive and the logic board are not independent of each other. So your hard drive is in a bin in another state. So you can't get your data. And at yeah, just after I made my MacBook unbootable, I was feeling okay because I'm like, you know what? These things are just toys. We can do whatever we want with them. But then I realized all my game data was there. And it was only a week of data that I lost. But that there's a difference between a week when I'm on holidays and motivated and just sitting down doing the one thing nonstop every day versus, working full time and doing a bit here and there. And so it's taken like a month or two. I think it's taken like 6 weeks to get 1 week's worth of work back, doing a little bit here and there. But that's back. And I guess I'll talk about the other thing that happened recently is the amount of work that it's taken me to get this menu sort of looking okay has highlighted to me that I probably should not be doing things like animation and level design in addition to engine development. So I'm going to be doing something on that front, but I'll probably maintain the veil of secrecy for the time being. But anyway, this has been a little update. I'm glad to say that everything is more or less back on track. I like this thing that I have here with the rings around the head. This is more my original vision for what the menu should look like. But yeah, we'll probably leave that there. So good to see everybody. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Hello. I just want to give a quick little shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters. I'm community That's a tough word. I'm community funded. It's how I keep the lights running. Not really, but it's how So I really appreciate any and all support. If you can't support financially or don't want to, look, that's totally fine. It's not expected. It's sort of a premium subscription thing. In that case, the best thing you can do to support the channel is to comment, let me know what you're liking, what you're not liking. I know I do a bunch of things, but I am trying to make the best educational content that I can. So, big thank you to Antonin Carret, Dankil Foles, Declan, Enderlon Studios, Isaiah Meyer, Jason Coleman, Mathieu Durick, Moim, Shreyar, and Maxim Shukim. Thank you so much, my dudes. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, cheers. Gonna get hit. Have a good one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.